All righty. Well, welcome to 2020, guys. Hope you guys had an exciting New Year's with yourselves, your family. You guys brought the New Year in right. Um, I mean, like I said, it's a fresh start, brand new beginning, and I always enjoy the New Year just because it's a time to look at the previous successes or previous shortcomings and be able to reflect on it, see what worked for the year, what didn't work, and make the proper adjustments going into the fresh year to only get better, right? So it's an awesome time. Definitely excited about it. Um, I have a lot of good things to share uh, today on today's call. Some
Morning.
will be some
Yeah.
announcements, kind of reiterating what Ricky was talking
No,
about
thank you.
for the previous week on
No,
the
thank you.
first call with IFG, some new platforms and programs that are going to
Thank
be
you.
rolling out in the next several weeks, as well as just
Thank you.
some challenges, kind of
And
some
thank you.
thought-provoking questions to get your guys' minds turning and working in the right direction, and
Leave
really
them silly.
see
Yeah.
if something sticks out to you. Someone's gonna grab you and be that deciding factor to push you forward one way or the other, or just get you on the right train of thought, the right path, the right mindset, and really just challenge you for a better 2020. Uh, Challenge you to obtain your actual goals, your wishes, your dreams, and leverage all those things to help you drive steps closer to that actual end game goal, right? So,
Well,
sorry, this is bugging me. It's not centered. So, I got the intro. We're all good there. But
was he coming
I
up?
am recording this, so be a good
Hey.
call to come back to. Like I said, the big thing is, like I said, what are the team challenges, right? So, kind of recapping from last year. These are the unofficial official numbers that for that report for the agency-wide report comes out in the next several weeks. Um, Once Sarah gets back in town, she gets us wrapped up for either next week or the week after, since everything runs about 2 week, 3 week schedule behind just for processing. So we wrote about $810,000 worth of life business, which is that is awesome. That's about $250,000 more than what we ended up last year. We were at about six and change, I think, or maybe a little bit, it's barely hitting six. The big catapult for us would be the whole annuities section. We did $1,584,018.25 worth of annuity business, um, which is up last year. I think I personally wrote about 200 or 225. So that's a huge jump into the annuity space. If you look at total volume, not including Medicare, which is another thing we'll chat about briefly, um, that's over what's that, $2.3 million worth of life business in total, in overall business rather, which is kudos to you guys. Give yourselves a hand. That is awesome. It's just a tip of the iceberg. I mean, there's a long way to go, but I like to celebrate wins, and I think that's a huge win given our size, given the number of active writing agents. We're about almost 40 agents licensed or contracted, with realistically about 15 to 18 consistently writing. A couple pop up here and there, which we're trying to change that. But no, it's an awesome year. We did fall short. Like I said, personal goal is always the $1 million worth of life business. So, being transparent, we did fall short of that goal. But going into 2020, like I said, we don't change our goal. We change our actual approach. In this case, I envision us doubling in size, going from about like I said, that 30 to 40 agents to about almost 60 to 80 agents. And therefore, I'm moving the bar for the life premium to we should be able to write anywhere between 1.25 to 1.5 million dollars. To be on a 1.5 million dollar run rate, you're looking at about $30,000 submitted business a week as an actual team. Um, Mute the guest. Hold on. Here, I'm just gonna mute everybody out real quick. Alrighty, I think we got it. But yeah, so we're looking at, like I said, $30,000 a week premium over a 50-week work year. That should hit us about that 1.5 million. So that's actually about $120,000 a month worth of submitted business, which our best month so far was 102,000. So we're not too far off, especially if we add a lot more writing agents, and as you guys start growing your actual teams and building out, I think that goal is gonna be a lot easier to actually hit. Um, so I mean, like I said, that's kind of the where we stand annuity wise. I envision seeing us writing 2.2 million to about $3 million worth of actual annuity business. So about either about 400 grand more than what we did for this year, or about another million on top of that. But my main goal out of all that, that's the what I call the flashy numbers everyone wants to hear about, and everyone wants to kind of know what's our target. My real goal though is to create 10 six-figure income earners. So what that means is to take 10 people that are writing business and make sure we get 10 of them to make over that six-figure mark. That is my, if I had call it the unicorn, that big goal. That's what my goal actually is for the actual group, is to be able to transform 10 of you, which there's already a handful that already do it, but get more people added to that actual equation to where they're bringing home that six-figure income. It's not going to be easy. Definitely going to be a lot more difficult, but it's going to come down to a handful of things. It's plugging in, buying into what we're actually doing, buying into the actual system that works, whether it be these Monday morning calls that we do on a almost a frequent basis, if not a bi-weekly basis, depending on how that week goes and what content we have to talk about. I'm also plugging into the actual university page. So the new IFG University is jam-packed with a ton of content, and also different sales techniques and strategies that's different from what I actually talk about, which is totally fine. I'm not the end all be all when it comes to the sales tips. I wish I was, but I'm actually not. I'm humble enough to say I don't know everything, right? So plugging in, getting a different aspect, because sometimes certain things that people say or the way things are worded, whether it be from Tony or Pete or just the content they're actually bringing. It's actually a lot of our different aspects. They're just being the face of it. It just makes it a little bit cleaner to see the same handful of people talking about it in a real good fashion. But if you're pulling different tidbits or different things or just small little tweaks or minor adjustments can go a long way into how you're actually able to present to the actual client and service them. So plugging in, sharpening your axe. I mean, it's like this is going to be the year of growth, the year of learning, and the year of high levels of intent and and activity. That's what the mantra is going to be for 2020. It's we're going to say it's be intentional, have a purpose, increase your activity, create, and leave a legacy. That's going to be our mantra going throughout the actual year, because I think it's very, very true, and it's just little hints or reminders just to keep our mind focused. So what is the ultimate bigger picture, which is ultimately should be creating a legacy for you and your loved ones. That should be the ultimate goal, and these steps along the way, these years, are just small stepping stones to get to that end goal, right? But in order to do that, while we're in our working time, our actual building time, you want to be intentional. You want to have a purpose in what you're actually doing, and you want to increase your activity now. Don't wait till later to actually do more. Do more now, right? So, like I said, sharpening your axe at the university page. Another thing we'll look at is definitely be buying and slash generating a lot more leads as an actual team. I can tell our leads, we actually wrote more business because we have more agents, but our actual total purchase of leads is actually down from the previous years. That's a couple different reasons, from the market kind of shifting a bit into how the things are trending for us, as well as a lot more people are using the warm market, which is never a bad thing, but just having that consistent lead flow coming in definitely dropped off from the previous years. Um, and transitioning that into getting standing orders. So people ordering on a weekly basis, whether it be Facebook, Final Expense, B leads, A leads, MP, Medicare, whatever the source of it actually is, or generating your own leads, is doing it on a consistent basis. The whole name of this game is having enough people to talk to on a weekly basis, right? So you can tell because the numbers fluctuate. It's when we have a bunch of leads coming in, we're at our actual best, we're at our peak performance wise of generating business. And when leads are slower, like the last handful of months where it's the holiday season, you can see the change in shifts. A lot more leads, or a lot less leads are coming back in, or generating a little bit less business, despite us doing almost a $30,000 month for the month of December, which isn't terrible for the actual holiday month. I said those are different shifts you're able to see, but it's usually all relative to the number of people we're actually talking to on that weekly basis. And then lastly, it's creating a sense of urgency or competition. It's creating that fire of like I said, I'm a former college athlete, so anything sports wise, it's right up my alley. To compete, go head to head with someone, that the motivational aspect of looking over your shoulders to see if they're really close or not. That's what always drove me inside the actual field. So those GroupMe chats, a lot of people hate them. They think they're annoying because they ding every 20 seconds. Um, that's part of the fuel to the actual fire for me. Seeing people put up those numbers, whether it be small, big, it doesn't even matter. Just seeing people on a consistent level, you see that same name pop up. There's a handful of names I see pop up where it's consistently their name is on there 2 to 4, maybe 6 times every single day. Those are people that get me fired up to go to do more, right? So having that sense of urgency, that sense of the competition, I think goes a long way into driving each other, as well as driving yourself to the ultimate end game goal. So if you don't have a accountability partner, seek someone out. Seek someone out that's going to push you, that you're comparable business wise, whether you're brand new, just got started, or you realize you guys write about the same number of cases or so forth, or if you need help figure out who you should be matched up with, don't be afraid to ask, right? So, but that's kind of the numbers piece, as well as some of the team goals that I personally have, and where I want to see this. And really, I'm going to challenge myself to, like I said, really shift my main focus. It's like I said, it's growing up you guys, people that want to grow and build and just flourish or take this business to the next level, whether it be where you're personally writing in terms of growing your personal value or growing or start hiring. Either which way it goes, I want to be more intentional on my end and spending more time with you guys that want to actually grow your business. Make that change or get outside your comfort zone as I get into some of our team challenges. It's to spend more time and be intentional with those folks. Get back to what I used to do. It's weekly or biweekly calls, just kind of going over what's all happening. It holds you on your end accountable. Make sure you're ordering leads. Make sure your team's ordering leads, or what the marketing plan is that you guys have in place and how that's working. What tweaks we need to make to it. As well as give you a little bit of tidbits and nuggets, like I do on the usually the Tuesday agency leaders call or agency manager call. Share some of those more complex things that you start thinking of as an agency owner or someone that's taking their business to that next level. It's getting your mindset shifted from the basic or entry level producing agent to something higher, something better, something bigger, right? So I want to be more intentional in doing that. But in order to do that, it's it's one, you have to step up, right? So you gotta show yourself. I'm not gonna be able to guess who wants to do what. So reach out and then actually lay down that actual plan. Or if you don't have a goal setting call set up the 15 to 30-minute call. The links on the group me. There's a whole time slot for this whole entire week, starting from 11 o'clock today until about 5, and that goes the same schedule throughout the whole entire week, just so I have my mornings to get some stuff done. As well as, like I said, I'm going to be inside the field too. I got about 8 to 10 leads that have built up from Christmas. I need to go get on the phone tonight and start calling those and get those put to bed for 2020. But set up your goal setting call. That's something that we're able to talk about. We can address it. We can create the plan, your action plan, and kind of walk through those different necessary steps, so you have the right pieces or the right framework to build off of. Um, I'm not going to hold your hand and create it for you, but I'll at least give you the right building steps, right building blocks to make sure you're going to be aligned to go from point A to point B to point C, and that your thought process is on the right train of thought. That's probably the biggest thing. At least when I got started, it's what I thought this timing was, or what I thought was necessary of it, is 100% different. Uh, Everyone thinks it's, hey, you build out a team, you sit back, you do nothing, you click override check. That is the furthest thing from the actual truth. I think I might do more work now, and my wife could probably attest for it, of sitting inside this very office from 10 a.m. I'm usually here. If I'm not running actual appointments, I can be sitting inside this office for almost 7 to 9 hours. Um, and for those that try to call, you understand how busy I actually am. With there's It takes me 45 minutes sometimes to return a phone call because there's a string of 5 people to call back that have all called in from inside of houses and so forth. So I mean, it's definitely a lot more work. I definitely enjoy it. It's more rewarding work, because you see the impact it actually has on people. What I mean by that is the change of people's lives from going from point A to point B just by helping them understand how to write certain products, certain cases, and the whole case design aspect of it, of placing business with the right carrier. It's a very rewarding task. So but like I said, wouldn't change it for anything. If only I just want to start growing out even bigger, helping you guys grow, and really plugging into you guys on that one-on-one level, to build out your actual dream. So team challenges. I mean, the big thing, obviously, the market's shifting. Um, it's We don't want to be one dimensional. So just going in selling a MP product, frankly, it's kind of a thing of the actual past. The MP leads are slowing down just because of the way the market's set up. Interest rates are slowly raising. A lot of different factors that are happening to where the returns on the MP mail aren't what they once were. Mike Basaglia is saying it's similar to how they were 2014, 2015, 2016, where they were kind of slow, and then eventually they'll start taking off again. But it's kind of that slow wall phase, especially with all the stuff that's going on economy wise. That's what's really the driving factor. So not being one dimensional, so things like getting your health license, be able to write some Medicare options, getting your PNC license, or knowing who our PNC partners are in Jared and Sean, to be able to refer business to them to help us out with certain cases. So, for example, I was in Florida, didn't close a deal with this one particular gentleman. He kind of had a lot of stuff in place, which was actually not bad stuff, but the kind of told him what else we actually did, because he had some old 401k money and some IRAs. He also had an annuity in place, so we kind of started talking about that. What else we actually do? And he was 69, so obviously brought up the whole Medicare thing. And after I told him everything else we actually do, he's like, "Oh, do you guys do property and casualty? Do you guys do your like homeowner stuff?" I'm like, my first answer was going to be no. I don't touch that, right? So I kind of I took a step back. Hey, I don't personally do it, but our agency does. We have a couple guys that we call that kind of do that on the nationwide scale, which happens to be Jared and Sean. So they're based out of the Wilmington office. It's Jarrett, Sean, and Bailey. So all three of them can help us in assisting writing business. But the way it works, you've probably seen the post about it. It's if we can free up someone's money by saving them money on the property casualty, which is their homeowners coverage, their auto, um, dwelling, umbrellas, any type of it's a homeowner and property casualty style products. If we can save them money on their current rates and free up some cash flow, that can make space for the life insurance sale. So you can save them, say, $1,000 a year, whatever, if they're doing a huge bundle. That's an extra $80 a month that we can flip into a life insurance product. They're spending the same budget amount of money, but they're getting a lot more products for that same price point. So this particular gentleman, like I said, I couldn't sell anything on the front end life-wise. There might be an opportunity coming back in a handful of months once this UL kind of settles for him. But I called. He asked about a brand new policy for his actual roof. I called Sean. He got the information. They exchanged contact info, and the guy knew what to send over, which is typically just a declaration page, or they call it PNC call it the deck page, which is basically the outline of coverage for the dwelling, home, auto, and so forth. It tells them what kind of coverage they actually have, so they can run a comparison quote wise. So guys paying $2,300 a month or a year for it, just for this home policy, which is kind of high given the area we're actually in, opposed to what Sean said. So we might be able to save them some money, but all more of this whole story, it was a simple phone call. Hey, Sean, I'm sitting with the actual client. Thinks he might be overpaying for his actual homeowners coverage. Mind if I share your information and see if you might be able to help him out and save him some actual money? Um, Simple as that. Like I said, I'll figure out what happens in a couple weeks if we do save him money. His renewal's not up until the end of this actual month by luck. So if everything goes well, that might be a phone call coming back to me say, "Hey, I freed up some cash. Let's go ahead and look at something else." But either way, it's just servicing your clients from multiple shapes and forms, not being the one dimensional. I'm only here to sell mortgage protection. I'm only here to sell your final expense products. It's having those extra tools available. It just opens up the whole conversation. And I can attest for just from, like I said, didn't really run any FE leads or run any Medicare leads for my whole Medicare, my first AEP, but be able to find almost about 7 deals, 5 that I actually wrote just from asking questions and letting people know what you actually do, what else you do. So from how to do your mortgage protection, we just got into this whole Medicare thing. We're actually brokering out several different carriers. Did that get taken care of for you? Yeah. Simple question. That's all. That's all I would actually ask people, and I'll be getting feedback saying, "Hey, we just got it done. We got so and so. Oh, that's a fantastic company. That's awesome." Just leave those alone. But there's people, "Hey, I haven't got it done yet, or I'm curious to see if there's anything better." That's a open door for scope of appointment signed, set up a meeting to come back in a handful of days, set up their actual plan, and those are usually lay down slam dunk deals. So just having an extra segment to offer someone goes a very, very long way in not being the one dimensional agent. Being able to offer multiple things to different people, or actually the same people, or same household rather. Um, it's huge. It's just it's a differentiating factor from a lot of the new people that are getting freshly licensed coming into the actual business. They're only trying to sling one particular product, like we all started with. Having that differentiating factor of something else to offer on top of it. Because I mean, for sure, if you're running your FE leads and you don't have your healthcare license yet, you are dropping the eight ball. It is probably the easiest cross sell. I haven't personally done it. I don't have time to do it, so I'm just going to run it off my existing book and my MP clients. But the amount of cases Ray Bruce has written off of cross selling his Medicare leads or getting referrals from his other agents working the final expense leads. I think he's up to 30, almost 35 cases. Just stumbling and bumbling around. Didn't really know what was going on. He just found 35 cases, essentially. He crushed them. So, truly attest that if you're working in the final expense market, you want to have your healthcare license set up just because it's an easy cross sell, especially with the lower income section, your LIS people or your dual eligibles. people that qualify for both Medicare and Medicaid. You can write them all year long. So there's a way to keep servicing your clients throughout the whole entire year, or you find the brand new, fresh to Medicare, or the SCP folks. I mean, it's a never ending market if you're doing it right, asking the right questions. And worst case option about all that stuff, if you find the people that are over the age of 65 or eligible for your Medicare, you can fill your pipeline going into the AEP for 2020. You don't have to do all the grunt work trying to find your clients. You get them throughout the whole entire year. You cultivate them. You write the ones you can. If you can't write them, you stay in contact with them. Let them know that, hey, once this date, October 15th, drops 2020, I'm going to be your actual guy to get this all taken care of for you. So building those relationships throughout the year, asking the right questions. It's a huge way into actually generating the right amount of business with multiple folks. So that same conversation will stem over into, okay, well, what if I only have my life license? Same conversation stem over to your actual annuity clients. The magic question or the secret sauce everyone wants to know about is, how do you write actual annuity business? First, you have to find it. Easiest way to find it, it's one very powerful question. Do you have anything in place that acts like life insurance? Whether it be IRAs, 401ks, pensions, annuities, life insurance products, whole life term. You run through the whole entire list of questions. It's very open-ended and broad on purpose, but it's to get them to think, what else do I have in place? It's an inviting question to where you typically don't get that much pushback from a handful of people. It's all about how you actually ask the actual question, or if you lay the foundation on the front end. Hey, we're going to be going through a series of questions. It's me not being nosy, but it's me to get a better financial picture of what's actually going on. We don't want to duplicate too many things you already have in place. So if you start seeing yourself getting a ton of pushback, add that last phrase to the start of your actual presentation. Just kind of breaks some of that ice. But like I said, I haven't got any pushback on it, just by the way I ask it. I go through my regular fact-finding sheet, and then when it hits savings, right before the current life insurance question, I ask the question, what else do you have in place that acts like life insurance? Savings, IRAs, 401ks, annuities, whole life term coverage. I go through all that so that they can start naming off, oh, I have this, I have that. And then you can't get excited. You can't show you're freaking going insane. Just taking notes. Okay. Just nod your head. Okay. Then you're gonna save that thing for later. But we'll dig into that more. I think we're gonna have Matt Mullier on in a couple of weeks once he gets settled back in after the holidays. He said he wouldn't mind hopping on a call talking solely about the annuity pitch that he does, as well as how he's gone about getting the successes that he's had by asking that very question. So like I said, that was one of the nuggets of being able to ride with him for 2 hours. Just be able to ask some questions, just picking other people's brains. I mean, that's what I spend a lot of time doing. It's not just talking to you guys. I'm also talking to other industry leaders, figuring out what they're doing well, why they're doing it, and what's working and what's not working. So, I'm not making all the stuff up, but we had to diversify and step out of our comfort zone. I mean, these are all things that a lot of groups are doing, and it's for an actual reason. So I bring it up to you guys. So if you don't have certain things in place, it's a fresh year. Let's go get those things done. Let's go sign up for your health course. If you need the discount code, text me. We'll get that all done for you. But it's going to be a game-changing year to be able to offer multiple products, multiple services to your actual clients. Like I said, we got your term coverage, your whole life, your retirement planning, annuities, your IULs, health, Medicare, and supplements, dental, vision, hearing. I mean, your hospital indemnity plan. So even the people that are under age 65 that want a supplement, we can write those now. In addition, like I said, we can't personally write the PNC business quite yet. Still trying to figure that whole piece of it out from the local standpoint, but we do have agents that can write it for us and basically save the client money. be able to free up cash flow for us to put our products in a force. So, um, I mean, that's kind of things I wanted to chat on. Like I said, my big goal is that getting a lot of feedback from you guys, things to one talk about on a weekly or biweekly basis, as well as feedback on what you guys want to actually accomplish your goal wise. I mean, I can't help you unless I know what you guys are actually going after. So that's why I'm a real big pusher for this setting up the goal setting call. We want to go, we can go into full detail, which like I said, we got one of those come up in about 23 minutes, which should be a fun call. Definitely excited for it because those guys have been crushing it. But if it's just simply saying, "Hey, here's what I want to end up doing," and just telling me about it, just so I am inside the actual loop, goes a long way into help building out your actual 2020. So if you don't, for those that have scheduled the calls, if you have an online tracker, you'll notice the new goal setting sheet on there. So definitely give that a peek. Those that don't have it, or what I'll do is I'll post some sheets into our actual Dropbox, which I think it might be there, it might not be. Um, it'll be your goal setting sheets with the actual instructions from page 5 of the MP playbook. So if you have that, you'll see a spot for your SMART goals. Or if you have if you requested an actual tracker, it's inside the first page. Where's my stuff at? Okay. So if you ask for a tracker, whether it be electronic or paper copy, there'll be a page like this inside the very front, SMART goals with your 10 goal sections. So I'll make sure to post this page inside the Dropbox. So people that don't have that book or just want to be able to set their goals, I'll post it in there. Just print that out, fill that out, and then email it over to me if you don't set up a goal setting call, just so I can hold you accountable to those items. But last but not least, just wanted to showcase one quick thing, which if you're on the computer, it'll work for you. If not, hold on one second. Make sure everything's. Make sure it's open actually. So a lot of people ask me about delivery notices. There is a template that you can print from. So I don't have any more of those stickies itself. I know you can get that same thing printed from Staples currently. But what I've done, hold on, entire screen. All right, sharing the screen. No, why isn't that working? Okay, there we go. Got it. Okay, sorry, I was pinned to a different one. But what I created were door hangers. So by end of this afternoon, once I can make the phone call in, um, I will have this template posted on a Dropbox where you can through Vistaprint. They got 1,000 of these. It's like $80. There's a coupon code that gets 25% off currently, or if you order like 250 of them, I think that's the recommended order, or 500. It's like 40 to 50 bucks. Definitely recommend buying these. I just put an order in yesterday as I created it. It's just a change of pace, something a little bit different versus the yellow stickies. I mean, as the year went on, started seeing some drop off where usually you get about 40% callback ratio. It went down probably 30, maybe even 20 in some cases. Could have been the holidays, but so other people have kind of said some of the similar things. So we're on the way just to create this. You can create sticky notes on Vistaprint. A book of 5 pads of 25. I'm pretty sure what's that? 250. No, less than that. 5 pads. That's 125 sheets. Delivery notices would be like $15 on a 3x3 sticky note. So it's actually a perfect square. It's not the rectangle option. It's not a terrible price. If you wanted to create kind of something similar, I mean, it'd be a lot less detailed, very, very small. That's why I like this kind of more spread out. It looks a little bit cleaner, personally. But you can create those on Vistaprint as well. Looking for a bulk place to order a bunch of them if that's the way people want to go. Haven't found it yet, just because they want you to order like 500 of them for 50 cents a piece. So it's not very affordable in terms of from a practical standpoint. I don't need 500 sticky pads, but this is probably the next best thing, personally. So I'll have this link hopefully live today with how to order it from Vistaprint, where you just literally click the link, you place your order, you're done, and you get them in about 8 business days is what they're set up as. So you can get them sooner if you would like, but I think this would be a real good way. You can adjust it, change it, but this is the template that I personally liked. It looked clean. I was going for the red, white, and blue colors just to make it stand out some. Didn't go for our company colors with the blue and orange and so forth. Just red, almost like the American flag type of theme. But he said, if you like those, like I said, send me a text message once I get that link, or send me an email. I'll make sure to get that link out to you once I get it posted. Same thing will go for business cards. I'll get that link fixed. The appointment reminder cards, that link works inside the Dropbox. Where you can order your reminder cards. Basically, after you do a door knock, instead of leaving your actual business card, because you don't want them to call you back, it just gives them a reminder for the date, time of the actual appointment. So those are actually, you can order those without any problems.